Hey guys, I did as much as I could on the goat shelter for today. Ran out of material. We're about to go get some more material, but I don't feel like doing it. Look, my face is red. I'm hot. I'm a fat girl. I don't feel like doing it. But we're getting closer, as you can see. I got that one side done. As far as the wall goes, I mean, there's a lot left to do, but I'm happy that I got this done today. We got the roof on and this one wall. Can't see me. I'm really happy about that because it was supposed to rain all weekend. Some of you may be wondering where Greg is. Why wasn't Greg helping me? Well, we went to my parents today. Next week is his birthday. He'll be 19. And we went to my parents today and had kind of a surprise early birthday party for him. And so he thinks today is the day he shouldn't have to do anything. But there's still chores to do. He's still got to feed. He's still got to do his chores. My goodness, my face is red. Anyway, that's why he wasn't out here. Today's his birthday, and I bet next week will be his birthday too, and he won't want to do anything. But that's what that's about, and that was simple. I could do it by myself. It's not difficult work there, but I'm hot because it's hot. It's like, I don't know, 70 degrees, and thank God the wind's blowing. Anyway, we're gonna head out and get some more of these fence panels, and I've got to get some more of the screws and something else. There was something else I needed. What was that? I don't remember what it was. Oh, a gate. Yes, the gate is broken. We got to get a new gate before I can put them in here. So we might get the gate up tonight, but we won't finish the walls. Doesn't matter. It's looking good. Figured out what we have. And she doesn't like it. Okay. Is this the side we did better on?
Mm-hmm.
I understand. Actually don't. But hopefully that works. Okay. Okay, hold him just for a second. Poor guy.
I got his hoof.
That would suck if that came off. Okay, give me that. Go get him some feed.
Oh.
Go get him some. Come here, buddy. He's wanting feed. Bring the thing over to me because I want him to still come to me. Come on, buddy. Come on. Don't be mad. Good boy. Don't be mad at me. What is that? I'm just looking. Just looking. I showed me medicating the goats for a reason. I've got something I wanna discuss, and that is treating your animals, and specifically treating your goats. The cord that I used is a Coccidia stat that is the goats and dogs and rabbits and chickens can get Coccidia, and cord is one of the main treatments for Coccidia in animals. It's real popular, with people who have cattle. They use it, and rabbits. The thing is, what I wanted to talk about is that within the goating community, You know, we have we have homesteading community, and within the homesteading community is the YouTube homesteading community, and so you know, a lot of people in the area know each other for YouTubing and homesteading, or both. Well, there's also a community for those who raise goats, and within that community, there's a lot of negative. There's a lot of negativity around using cord. A lot of people think that it's harmful to your goats. A lot of people will not use cord because they say it killed their goats. Now here's the deal. Rain and Stormy have a small load of Coccidia. Stormy had some before. I took fecal sample to the vet, and she had a pretty heavy load of Coccidia, and we treated her with Albon. And in the past, I have used cord. This is not her first time to you know, get a heavy load of Coccidia. Now, they always have it. They always have parasites. You never clean their system out of parasite, and I'm not real sure that would be helpful for them if you could. So anyway, I treated Stormy with Albon. I got it from the vet, and I took a fecal sample back, and I took a fecal sample of from all the girls in. But Stormy's would have been a follow-up because she was already treated for Coccidia. And she still had kind of a higher level, higher load of Coccidia than she should have. And since we already used Albon, and she still has a pretty decent load of Coccidia, I'm gonna do cord. And I called the vet and I asked, what's the dosage for goats using cord? In cattle, you would pour it in their water. Goats don't drink enough to get a high enough dose of the cord for it to be effective, so you put it directly in their mouth. You don't dilute it or anything. And I asked the vet what the dosage was, and they said, or he said, 6 cc's per 100 pounds. 6 cc's per 100 pound. Well, in the goating community, there is a large group of people who are using 6 cc's for every 25 pounds. What is that? 3 times more the dose than what they need, or what the vet recommends. Let's put it that way. I don't even think goats are on the label on cord. But the vet says 6 cc's per 100 pounds, and the goating community says 6 cc's or 24 cc's per 100 pounds. And they also say, the goating community says, that you should inject them with B complex as you're treating them with cord. And the reasoning behind that is because the way cord attacks the Coccidia is it depletes the thiamine levels. Well, goats need thiamine, so which you get from the B complex, fortified B complex. And so we are giving 3 times the amount of cord as we should. And they say to give that much because they say that even though the vet says we should give it at a different level, the vet does not understand that goats metabolize much faster than other animals. And so you give them an overdose of cord, and the effect of overdosing them with cord and depleting the thiamine levels in their body is death. So you counter that with a fortified B complex injection. And that's if you have to use cord, but please stay away from cord because it's awful, it's evil, it kills goats. It kills goats because we're overdosing them. I have a hard time understanding how, and you know, I'm not saying that it's necessarily wrong. I have done it. I have used that dose. When I first got goats, I didn't know a thing about them, and you go to Facebook and you find these goating communities. You look for people who have goats who can give you advice. Goats have a lot of problems. That should not be your first livestock. And the reason I got goats is because, well, I wanted to raise sheep, and someone's told me, so, on Facebook probably, to get goats first. They had to kind of give you, kind of the foot in the door. You kind of get the experience. They're similar, but goats don't have as many problems as many parasites. That is wrong. That is not true. Don't ever let anybody tell you that. Goats have a big problem with parasites. Goats can die within a few hours. They can appear to be perfectly healthy 1 minute and die within a few hours. You can feed your goats in the evening and they look fine and go to bed and get up in the morning to come feed and somebody's dead, or two of them. I mean, they die. Goats are not the first ones to start with. So that's how I got into that community, talking to people online. And so that's what I did at first. I had other goats. I got goats the first time, I think 2.5 years ago, and I had one die from coccidiosis. I did not know, right? Because goats don't have as many parasites as sheep. When I got a fecal sample on another goat and got, this goat had, heavy load of coccidia, I reached out to the community, and everybody is telling me, this is what you do. You try one, not to give them cord. But cord is over the counter. Let me back up. Cord is over the counter. These other drugs for coccidia, typically, you have to have a prescription from the veterinarian. People seem to have, stockpiles of it, but I don't, and I don't know how they're getting it. I don't know who they're talking to. I don't know where they're getting that. Albon that I use, I got from the vet. You have to have a prescription to get it. So anyway, they suggest Albon. I can't even think of the other drugs. There are a couple other drugs out there, but you have to get a prescription for it and stay away from cord. But if you're gonna use cord, give them 3 or 4 times the amount and inject them with fortified B complex to counteract what you've done with the cord. I've done that, and I didn't have any problems. Took another fecal sample back. They're clean of coccidia. Well, not. They always have it, but they have a manageable load. And my goat lived. Goats, I've done it a few times. But I got to thinking, how is it that this goating community, and some of them may be veterinarians, but this veterinarian I go to is not one. There are several vets there. They deal with livestock and small animals. And how is it that in their undergrad courses and in their graduate courses, they missed the parasitology class that told them that you need to treat goats with 3, 4, 5 times the amount of medication than what is on the label. And so I decided to do it based on my vet's suggestions, which is 6 cc's per 100 pounds. And what that means is that Stormy, instead of getting 6 cc's, she's 25 pounds, instead of getting 6 cc's, I'm giving her 1.5. Actually, I'm giving her a little bit more. I'm giving her just a little bit more because, and not much, just a little bit. I put a little bit more in the syringe than what I need, because anytime it's nasty, they don't like it. I don't know I think of it tasting something like maybe swallowing Listerine would, but I don't know. But they don't like it, and so there's a little bit extra in there in case they spit it out or it spills or whatever. And I'd rather give them just a little bit more than not enough. You don't want a parasite becoming immune to a drug because you didn't give it enough. And so, Rain is 60 pounds. She gets her dose is, if it's 6 cc's per 100 pounds, her dose is 3.6 cc's of the cord. And of course, there's, closer to 4 in there, probably about 4. Rain tends to spit it worse than Stormy, so but I'm giving them that. It's for 5 days. You do that for 5 days. I am not giving them the Fortify-B complex injections. I'm not giving them the overdose. And I'm going to take them back, I'm going to take a fecal sample back in and see what the vet says. I'll let you know if they still have it. I'll also let you know if they die from taking Cori. But they shouldn't, because I'm not giving them too much. I'm giving them what is recommended by my veterinarian. I showed you me giving Chase a drug, an injection. And that injection was for his coughing. When he had the pneumonia, he's over the pneumonia now, but he is still coughing, and he's got this medication that is for inflammation and for the coughing. The vet says to give it IM. Well, I have heard through the goating community, now not everybody, but I've heard that goat's meat is made differently and they shouldn't get injections in the muscles. But that's how the vet told me to give this injection, and so that is what I'm going to do. I gave the dose that he told me to give too. I don't know what the recommended dose within the goating community is for this drug, but I did it intramuscularly, and if he dies, I will let you know. I don't know the reason. So their meat is made differently. I don't know what that means. My goats are dairy goats. I know you don't want to inject IM intramuscularly on meat animals because it messes with the meat. It damages the meat. These are not meat animals. These are dairy. I don't know that I would do it any different if they were meat animals. We confine goats, and that's why they have so many parasites. I know that people are trying to use, they're going back, organic and trying to use natural methods and all that, but you can't get away, you have to use dewormers and coccidiostats. When we put them in pens and it rains and it rains and gets warm, it's just a breeding ground there. In the wild, we weren't breeding them to make huge udders and produce a lot of milk. We're breeding them down in the Nigerian dwarfs. We bred them down. We bred them to produce milk. Nubians, they're not little, but we've bred them to produce milk. There are some goats that have horrible feet because of the way we've bred them, but that's okay because they're producing a lot of milk or they're producing a lot of meat. In the wild, they would not be confined. They would be constantly roaming and browsing, and they wouldn't get the parasite loads that they get in our backyards or on our farms. So you have to address it. You have to be proactive in treating or preventative methods when it comes to parasites in your livestock, but especially in goats. So just in the comments, let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what your vet says. I'm just curious about that. Anyway, it's getting dark and we haven't had dinner yet. And Greg's complaining that he's hungry, so we're gonna go get something to eat, and we'll see you on the next one.